Welcome to Medical Spa Mastermind. I'm your host, Kathy Christensen, and today we will be speaking with an incredible female in the industry that has done amazing things. I know you've heard of her, Shawna Chrisman. She's a board-certified nurse practitioner, industry thought leader, and the founder of Destination Aesthetics Medical Spa, a premier aesthetic practice with 5 locations across the greater Sacramento area. She launched DA in 2011 as a solo venture, and she has scaled ever since. She's achieved a top 10 Allergan account rating in the US. Within 8 years, she achieved that. She's renowned for her expertise. You probably see her all over LinkedIn and social at the amazing things that she's doing, because not only is she an amazing practitioner, she's also an amazing business person. So she's renowned for her expertise in medical aesthetics. She's an active speaker, panelist, and contributor to webinars, roundtables, and PR initiatives. She's a thought leader for Care Credit and the medical advisory board for the Advanced Medaesthetic Partners, which we'll get into a little bit more. Shawna's leadership and business acumen have earned her multiple accolades, including recognition as a Sacramento Top 100 Business Leader by the Sacramento Business Journal, and the prestigious Women Who Mean Business. In 2023, Destination Aesthetics was partnered with Advanced Medaesthetic Partners, where Shawna continues to drive innovation and operational excellence as a managing partner and chief aesthetics officer. Please welcome Shawna Chrisman.
Wow, this is where the imposter syndrome really truly starts. Crazy. Wow, listening to that bio is yeah, it's crazy because it seems like it's gone by so fast. Yet
Yes.
here we are, and it's been, 15 years in the business. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but they say if you love what you do, you don't work a day, which I think is kind of nonsense. But how do you feel about that saying?
I mean, I do agree with that. However, there are days, I'm sure you can relate, as everyone can, where it's 100% work. It's hard work, it's dirty work, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, yes, we love what we do. We love the people. We love seeing growth and opportunity for people, and that's really where it comes from, and that's what fills my bucket and why I'm still here.
Now, Shawna, you're a mom, you're a businesswoman, and you've recently kind of had a little bit of a shift in your focus from being just behind the chair, basically doing the business and being an operator, to taking kind of a different track. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, the journey has been incredible and completely unplanned, I will say. And I think that's the beauty of our industry and just entrepreneurship in general. So starting as a solo practitioner and then opening up a brick and mortar location, scaling it to 5 locations, and actually now 6 in an indirect way, and I can kind of touch on that.
Okay.
But coming out from behind the clinician chair, I had to, in order to run and operate the multiple locations, I couldn't do that behind a treatment room chair, even though I had the best leadership team ever. And so I stopped injecting as a primary provider probably I think it was at the end of 2022. And so I've
Mhm.
been really just focused on business growth and opportunity. And yes, I partnered with Advanced Medaesthetic Partners in March of 2023. So it's been an official 3 years.
Okay.
And, I can go down a whole rabbit hole on that experience. But the reason that I did that was because of some life challenges. And, I found a full sibling biological sister on ancestry.com. I mean, so many things happened at that time that kind of all came to an intersection where I made that decision. But so glad that I did, because now instead of being the person in charge, I am now surrounded by an incredible team that can continue to wrap their arms around destination aesthetics the way that I do, and I still can. And so it's just brought a lot of opportunity, not just for myself, but for my team. And that's really why I did it. So now, as chief aesthetics officer of the organization, I have almost a bigger reach to not just provide opportunity for destination aesthetics, but for the whole organization. And it's just been an incredible journey with the best people. So I feel so grateful for where I'm at today.
That's incredible. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of trying to make that decision. They're at a point in their business where they've been approached by private equity or an AMP or someone who wants to invest in their business. And it is a bit of a give and take. So, I mean,
Mhm.
how do you recommend someone hash that out? I know that's a really big question.
It's a really big question. Look, when I go around to conferences and I just speak to friends and colleagues just as one-offs, so many people are obviously still have the passion for the industry and what we do, but they're just burned out of
Yeah,
being a solopreneur, running the business on their own. It's obviously becoming more challenging with the competitive landscape, cost of doing business, all of
yeah,
the things. And so people are looking for options. And the good thing between even now compared to when I partnered with AMP 3 years ago, there are more options out there. So
hmm,
my best advice is really just set forth your goals, whether that's 1, 3, 5, 10 year plan, and really, really do your due diligence on who you can align with, who can support you and your practice the best way that you see fit. And so, I think when I was, looking for partners, there weren't as many options, and now so many things can be customized to really
hmm.
support your goals for your future, and that's great for people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like that's been a big change with investors. I think initially they came in around, 2022, 2023, and they were trying to make us fit into their box. And now they're kind of
Mhm.
adjusting to understand the industry better and support the industry better, which is a really good thing. How
Yeah.
important is it when you're starting this journey or really any journey to identify what success means to you, so that you can hit that goal?
So many people I feel think of success as a metric. I
Hmm.
have 3 locations, 5 locations. I want to get to 10 locations. I have so many people talk to me about scale. And then I kind of flip the script back on them. It's like, what is your ultimate goal? Like,
Yeah.
numbers and number of locations doesn't quantify success.
Yep.
It truly, to me, at this age, and I turned 50 this year, this is the unfiltered Kathy Christensen
Yes.
podcast. You can
Yes.
see all of my gray hair
Oh,
coming in
I
right
know.
now.
I
I
just got it
mean,
done. That's why I'm like dark as
uh,
everything.
my appointment's tomorrow. It's 2 weeks too late, but that's okay because I'm
You know
I'm
what?
not even gonna cover it for today because why? And that's,
Why?
why.
Yes.
So, but it's really interesting to hear what people feel is success. And again, going back to my personal perception of success, it's really what feels good to you in your heart and your mind. Everyone talks about balance. That's a whole nother podcast. But to me, success really is what is aligned with your core values, what is aligned with the most important top 3 priorities of your life. I've also heard so many people now
Hmm.
talk about the stove. It's like you have 4 burners, you have to turn one off to turn one on. I don't believe in any of that. I feel that you can have success with all 4 burners on. Yes, some are hotter than others at certain times, but I don't feel like it has to be so objective where you're putting all your eggs in this basket and then this basket gets no eggs. So I think that people sometimes get mentally intrigued by numbers, and
Yes.
true success to me is going to sleep and resting well at night, knowing that you're making a difference for what's important to you and those around you. To me, that is pure success.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think it is really true. Like you can get caught up in kind of the race of, this is the world's definition of success. But I think the interesting thing in
Mhm.
this industry is a lot of people left the hospital in order to chase whatever their little dream was of success, whether it be like
Yeah.
flexibility or
Mhm.
freedom or, you know, money or growth or,
Mhm.
forging your own path. And then when you
Yeah,
get there, maybe you
Mhm.
start forgetting that was your reason or your why. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I just spoke at a conference on basically designing your legacy. And it was really
Mm,
interesting because in preparing for the presentation, I realized that I never sat down and really took a pause to figure out what I wanted for my practice legacy or my legacy as a person. So I had the audience raise their hand to see how many people owned and operated and still worked in their practice, and the majority of them did. And I said, "Great, because this is for you." Unfortunately, I didn't have that opportunity when I was still working and owned Destination Aesthetics. I mean, I still work for Destination Aesthetics, but
Mm-hmm.
during that time to really take a pause of like, what do I want my legacy to be? And when we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
success, to me, what I opened with was a story about when I first started. I had terrible hair extensions. I mean, I wore fake eyelashes. Like, not that that's a bad thing, but I looked a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
And it reminded me of I didn't really know where I was going or what I was doing. But I had this publication in this local news, article, and it was about me and starting Destination Aesthetics. I was offering a free skincare consultation. I was doing
Ooh,
microdermabrasion. I was
yes,
talking about
girl.
how skin is the biggest, largest organ of the body. I mean, the most basic, mundane things that we talk about now.
Uh-huh.
But I was able to attract a beautiful woman who actually called me and wanted me to do a skincare consultation at her house. And I don't know why I said yes, but I did. We connected. I prescribed her the Obagi Nuderm system. She came in and got some laser for some brown spots. Long story short, fast forward 13 years. I saw on Slack that she had ordered some skincare products. They were the exact same skincare products that I had prescribed to her 13 years
Uh-huh.
ago. And
Yes.
I haven't seen her in office because obviously, again, I'm not a treating provider anymore. So I called her and I said, I am so grateful for you that you are still supporting DA, that you still, how's your skin doing? How are you doing? And she was so taken aback that I remembered her. And I said, of course I remember you.
Oh,
I did a consultation at your kitchen table. She goes, I thought you did that for everyone. It's like, nope.
oh.
I really don't. You were really the only one I've done that for. And she wrote me a letter with the cutest little butterfly sticker, and she basically talked about how I impacted her life,
Oh my God.
and that to me is success.
This episode is sponsored by Growth 99, the med spa industry's leading digital marketing platform. Growth 99 has helped over 1,000 aesthetic and elective wellness practices grow through powerful digital marketing. Leading practices trust Growth 99 for services including marketing automation, beautiful websites, paid media, and SEO. Visit www.growth99.com today to learn more, or click the link in our show notes.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of Medical Spa Mastermind. I just wanted to take a minute to tell you more about me and how I might be able to help you. I've recently launched Christensen Consulting to help practices like yours with the operational and strategy challenges that you're facing. As someone who's been in the industry for 20 plus years and who's grown small businesses from being in the red to being multi-million-dollar companies, I am confident I can help you. Whether you feel like you're always behind and making decisions for your practice on a rush and reactionary, or struggling with team management and motivation, or maybe you're assessing how to grow and scale and make more money, whether that be on your own or through private equity or investment, wherever you're at, I can help. Please reach out to me at Cathy, Cathy, at cchristensenconsulting.com. That's CCHRISTENSEN consulting.com. Or check out my website at cchristensenconsulting.com so I can help you find solutions and find success. And now back to our episode. So true. And it's like, I feel like sometimes, and it's often women, they come into like as lifeboats kind of in your life, right?
Oh,
Like
so
it's
true.
so true. I was
Yeah.
just last night, I don't know if you know Lisa Lickstein. She's from Lickstein Plastic Surgery in Florida. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she's got the most incredible energy. She spoke at the Confidence Bar last night, and she's one of my lifeboats. You just see
Oh,
her, and she's just like,
yes.
and I think that you just have to be open to those. And I love that you revisited that. And it was equally like your energy was shared both ways. Like, I'm sure she felt so
Oh,
amazing too.
completely.
Ah,
Completely. Yep. So
I
I'll be
love
framing
that.
that letter. I feel like that is the ultimate success.
Yes, that's why you do what you do. And she probably has great skin.
She does. She said it's
Yes,
going good. And she still uses the same product, which, you love a dedicated patient who is compliant.
yes,
That's another form of success.
exactly. So how do you remember the moment in your career where you started to be recognized as an industry thought leader? Like, and how did that pivot happen and how did that feel? Because at some point, because right now I feel like I see you everywhere and I'm so excited because I love you and I love the way that you teach and I love your knowledge and the way that you share it. You're so authentic. But when did you realize you went from provider to thought leader and what was that like?
I don't remember a pivotal moment other than probably being on main stage at some point, my first
Yeah.
time, and having that imposter syndrome that people are actually listening to me and coming to see someone like myself speak. It's been I still when I get asked to do, presentations and speaking engagements or what have you, I still am so flattered, and it's still so humbling that people do value my journey or my opinion or whatever you want to call it. But if I can help one person not make a mistake that I had done in the past,
Hmm.
et cetera, if they can get one nugget from one of the things that maybe I did that they think is a good idea, then I will do this all day long.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
but I don't remember a pivotal moment. It's still to me just such a great experience, and I'm happy to be considered a thought leader in this industry amongst a plethora of such talent.
That's wonderful. Yes, and you absolutely are, and I think it is because you're not only authentic but brilliant, so that's very helpful. I'm
Well, thank you.
curious. I know you're a mom. Have
Yes.
all your little birds flown yet? Or
One, both birds have flown for college. One has come back and is going to college locally, but I tell her all the time, I try really hard not to be excited that you're back home because she's my best friend. But yes, I am in a good position, I guess you could say, to work or be passionate about the industry that we're in so much more than what I had ever expected, especially after selling my practice. But considering my little birds are now, flocking eagles, I guess you could say, and can fly on their own, it's a good feeling because
uh-huh.
they call me more than I call them. That's probably not like the best thing, but I try not to
No, it
bother them
is.
so much. But to me, that's another form of success. If you want to
Yes.
know, about my meaning of success, is my son just tried to FaceTime me last night. I was flying home from the East Coast, and he just said, I just wanted to call and say I love you.
Oh
What else
my
can you want in
God.
life?
You
So
did, yes.
that's a good one. So yes, that I built Destination Aesthetics, when they were younger, obviously. But as we know, you can't do anything without a whole team of people, friends,
Hmm.
family, patients, leadership teams. Everyone who has come in and out of Destination Aesthetics has contributed in one way or another to where it's at today. So so grateful.
So tell me a little bit more about your current role at AMP too, like what you're doing with AMP. I know you're very active with Allergan. Um,
Hmm.
one of the things, interestingly, I was talking with Dr. K. Duraraj.
Hmm.
She has coached me on her
Love.
name a million times, um, just about
She's awesome.
women of a certain age, and we're all three of a certain age, where your children are
Hmm.
growing and leaving, and then your kind of sense of self and priority changes a little bit.
Hmm.
And there's not a lot of people talking about that. There's a lot of people talking about how
Hmm.
hard it is to be mothers of young kids, but I
Yes.
believe that there's like a shift at a
Hmm.
certain point in time where a woman has to remember themselves a little bit and remember the things that they love to do. And when you're not just really focused on mom. And I'm just curious, it looks like you've made a shift and you're growing in a different direction. And I'm curious about that a little bit.
Yes, the shift. It's kind of like the shift in the shift into your 50s, the shift
Yes.
into all of the things in business, career. Yeah. I mean, they say that Gen X, which is me, I was
Yep.
born in 75, that we have the most, conundrums, I guess you could say, in our life currently. So we have children, we have careers, usually dual working households, you have aging parents, and I definitely have felt that. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, oh
Oh,
gosh, probably a year
so,
and a half ago,
oh,
maybe
Shawna, I'm
longer now,
sorry.
but nope, she's in remission, she's doing great.
Yes.
But, I had to take a little bit of a pause on some of the leadership opportunities that I had within AMP at that time, but it was obviously for a good reason.
Yeah.
But just again, it kind of makes you pause when those things happen of how I'm spending my time, et cetera, et cetera. But my role at AMP now as Chief Aesthetics Officer and Managing Partner, I'm going to tell you one thing. And actually, I was going to write a LinkedIn post on this because I just got back from Blush Med Spa, which is a
Mm-hmm.
med spa brand that I oversee when I became a managing partner a little over a year ago. And that happened in January of 2025. And at that time, I can tell you in all honesty, I was definitely at a burnout stage.
Mm.
Then I'm thinking, wow, now I'm taking on more responsibility as a managing partner by overseeing not just our 5 locations at Destination Aesthetics, but now I'm taking on 2 other brands. And one of the brands, Blush, had plans to scale 2 additional locations that year. And I'm just like, what did I sign up for? What's going on? I
Uh-huh.
took one step into Blush Med Spa and also 22 Plastics and Spa in Salt Lake City. And I was infused with a new sense of purpose.
Ah,
And
love
it
that.
reinvigorated me, re inspired me because these teams were hungry, they were passionate, and I felt like I could help make a change and just taking great to greater. And that was a pivotal moment for me. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to become a managing partner a little over a year ago. And so when I go to these locations now, it's like being with a secondary family who's still
I
primary
love
family,
it.
but it's like, and they're just appreciative and we work so well together. And this has opened up a new door and a new chapter in my life that I never expected when I sold my business and partnered with a bigger entity. And this is definitely one of the many silver linings and benefits that I have experienced. And then in about January, August of last year, I became the chief aesthetics officer for AMP. And that also has opened up a whole new lens to me. It's focusing more, I'd say, on, corporate, private equity, family office type business,
Uh-huh.
operations and strategy, and I'm focusing a lot on vendor partnerships, which is something that I love. And same
Mm-hmm.
with you. It's like you have so many people that you've known in this industry for decades. And so working in a broader range in that capacity has really been very fulfilling to me as well. And I kind of feel like a little bit of a good politician, if is that an oxymoron? I don't know. But in that I can look at what the organization needs all the way to the ground level, to what the
Mm-hmm.
teams need from the day to day, and really help orchestrate for everyone the better good of all of the opportunity that we have in providing them support, resources, education. And so that's been great. So I am happy. And I never thought, I guess you could, that I was ever going to work, I would say this hard, but it's fulfilling. I'm sleeping good at night. People,
Yes.
people from 2 providers from Blush just messaged me yesterday. They're like, I treated people's temples yesterday. And, look at this jawline and this
Ah,
split face and all the things that, just these little tiny pearls that you can just hand off and teach go a long way. And yeah, it's what keeps driving me on the
oh,
daily.
that's incredible. I love that. It's like you've kind of plugged in to where you're I and I will admit, like, because I've recently had a shift too. I think the sleeping well at night is like so indicative of
Yeah.
where you are. If you're a chronic
Yes.
worrier, because I'm a chronic worrier, and I always tell my husband who sleeps like a rock, like it's kind of obnoxious, but I tell
Yes.
him at like 3 a.m. is the best time to worry about something. Like you can go deep into like the what
Oh,
ifs.
yes. Yes. Well, I'm usually not working till 3 a.m., but I'm a late bird. My husband's an early bird. I always joke around
Uh-huh.
that that's what saved our marriage all these years because we have our own personal private time to do what we need to do.
Yes.
But but yes, the sleeping well at night is extremely important.
So, Shauna, it sounds to me like you're a mentor for many, which is amazing. You're a mentor for me, and you're growing your mentees, which is awesome. But have you had any mentors in the space? And what do you think of that type of relationship?
I've had so many mentors in this space. I just listened to Carrie Strom
Ugh,
on
brilliant.
a women of Orange County. I can't remember exactly what the organization, but had to do with Octane. Sorry, Octane of Orange
Uh-huh.
County, and she's just a freaking badass woman.
Yes.
And she has given me some really good words of advice. And something that I took from her, listening to her, I believe it was actually a week and a half ago, is how you don't have to be the smartest in the room. You don't have to have the biggest and longest CV.
Hmm.
You just have to be prepared and you have to be consistent. And I took that as just great learnings. And we all hear we you probably do too, like we listen to podcasts, we read books, we read all these things. But when you hear it directly from the person and how that's really impacted what they do and all of the things and how they make decisions, those types of things go a long way with me. So I could name off a whole bunch of people, but what I like to take from mentors, it could be someone that I listen to on a podcast or a snippet that I get out of a book. My friend Anise Kavanaugh, she's an author of a lot of leadership books,
Uh-huh.
and the foreword or preface, like on one of her books, was talking about a toxic employee
Mm.
and their impact on the culture and the team, and how when they leave a room, they leave behind dead bodies. And
Oh, wow.
I mean, I read that and I had to close the book and
Uh-huh.
I had to just sit with that for a minute.
Uh-huh.
So it's not even just people or, someone who you have a lifelong mentorship with. It's these little tiny tidbits and nuggets that hit you to the core that really truly do change how you behave and how you perceive things. And to me, that's mentorship on a multitude of levels.
Exactly. Well, how do you give yourself space? Sometimes it feels like you don't have space to like find those nuggets and help them impact you. And when you're running from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, how do
Yeah.
you allow yourself to have space to close the book and think like, and
Mhm.
really even read the book? Um, how do you
Yeah.
make sure that you prioritize that as your part of your success?
I really feel, when you're talking about self-investment and, kind of in this era that we're in and how, well, it's not even just our era, it's everyone's era of taking time for themselves. I feel, and I really do talk to the people who I do mentor, or I think I mentor, they just want to call sometimes and just catch up. But the question is, how do you handle everything on your plate and execute at the same time? Because we can all get dragged down by our inbox, text messages, Instagram, rabbit holes, TikTok rabbit holes, all the things. But I really do try to set aside at least 1 hour a day. It should be more, but that's kind of the minimum that I do to either take time for myself, whether that is read, whether it's have a glass of wine and watch
Hmm.
Bravo and just absolute trash TV, which does
Yes.
fill my soul in any way, in so many ways that so many other things cannot. But, I try to take an hour for myself to self-invest, and I also take at least an hour to ideally stop notifications and really just
Mm.
execute because otherwise you're just really just treading water.
Yes.
and you're not swimming upstream. I know that sounds like dramatic, but it truly is sometimes swimming upstream.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just going to go down in the current. So you really
Yes.
have to take that time to really do what only you can do, things that are
Hmm.
on your to do an agenda, because otherwise you just spend time getting caught up in all of the things, and you really need to take time to execute, and you need to take time for yourself.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you're right. You're the only one who's going to be able to set those boundaries. Because if you can't, well, uh, Brian DeRoche used to say, if you don't set your own boundaries, other people will, and you won't like them.
Oh,
It's
that
just
is
like,
100% true. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yes, it's so true. And I love that. It's like take control and realize this is important. And I
Hmm.
am with you on the Bravo. I don't, or that I just finished Traders, which I don't know if you watch Traders on Peacock, but I highly recommend it. It's ridiculous.
I don't tell me that, because that's gonna just increase my 1 hour to 4 hours a day. No, I'm just kidding. I love a good, it's reality TV though, right?
It's reality TV. It's Alan Cumming. Do you know Alan Cumming?
Okay.
He's
No,
like
I don't think I
the
do.
most dramatic and amazing Scotsman that has ever lived. Highly recommend. And then, yeah, they have reality show people like doing this game where they like murder people in a Scottish castle.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
listen,
Okay.
highly
Well,
recommend.
I'll put it on my queue. And
Yes,
I'll get
do it.
back to you on that.
So what is exciting you right now, Shauna, of this industry? You've been in the industry for a while. You've seen all the buzzwords and all the trends kind of
Mhm.
come and go. Some stick to some don't. What are you thinking right now
Mhm.
is exciting, and where are we going to be in 5 years?
Uh, the question. I'll tell you what's exciting to me and what fills my cup
Yes.
is seeing kind of that next gen KOL.
Yes.
So on my car, my license plate has three letters in a row, and they're GMA. So my team calls me Grandma, and it kind of goes along with my gray hair right now. I am the oldest person at Destination Aesthetics right now, and that definitely wasn't the case for a long time. And so, with the evolution of people like myself,
Uh-huh.
um, I am just really re-inspired also by the younger generation of KOLs. I think they're brilliant, they're innovative, they're way more techie than I will probably
Yes.
ever be. And that's what I'm excited about, because they're going to pivot the industry in a completely different way than what we're
Mm-hmm.
used to, which I don't want to say that our way is linear, because that is 100% not the case. But their mindset, and I guess maybe it's the influence of social media, AI, all of the things that maybe they embrace a little bit more than myself. I'm learning so much from them,
Uh-huh.
and getting reinvigorated and inspired by a lot of what they're bringing to the table. And then obviously just the other things, functional medicine, regenerative medicine, all of those things. I'm actually going to a functional medicine conference in San Diego in May, because I
Mm.
myself just don't know a lot about it. And,
Yes.
we hear a lot of things on social media, or, Dr. K is like incredibly
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable about all of these things. But I want to do a deep dive myself and kind of nuts and bolts. So I have a foundation of this learning, so I can kind of go about that in a more productive way in
Yes.
in in our organization, in a bigger contributor. And so that's my next biggest challenge. And I feel like I'm a small child. It's like we talk about, okay, aesthetics we can talk about all day long, but when it comes to regenerative and functional medicine and all of that, I am a newbie. So I'm excited to dive in
Mm-hmm.
and learn something new, because this is our future.
Yeah, well, and I love that you're doing that because a lot of people are allowing themselves to be educated by gym bros or whatever
Hmm.
about peptides and all of that. And I think you do have
Yeah.
to say, hey, this is relatively foreign to me. I need to go to the original source and really
Yeah. Yeah.
learn like you
Yep.
said, like a little baby. You
Yeah.
got to learn like a newbie and admit it and then grow from there. So I
Yeah,
always
that's all my
ask,
friends talk about too.
yeah, well,
Is
right, because
hormones, menopause. I mean, so I feel like I need to do my due diligence. But anyway, go ahead.
yes.
Sorry.
No. It's so true because I think it's critical to say, hey, I don't get this. I need to understand it better and dig in. And I think that's what makes you so great. And it's a great lesson to learn is to, if you don't know it, don't trust somebody else to teach you. You need to know your own, like figure it out. Of course, there are always good teachers out there, but if you don't have your foundation knowledge, then,
Yes.
you don't know what's
Yep.
right and wrong necessarily.
Exactly.
So I always ask my podcast guests, what if you had a theme song right now in your career, in your life, what would it be? No pressure, but it better be good.
There are so many options, but I have to go to my tried and true. This is my number one theme song, and I don't know why, other than it's just a really good beat by someone who's amazing, and it's by Dr. Dre and California Love.
Yes. Yes.
My husband and I, when we met in high school, I was the wannabe gangster female.
Yes.
I was trying really hard to be a Crip. I'm not joking. I don't even know.
And Shawna,
I didn't even know any Crips, but I dressed in all of the like Georgetown jacket blue, like from head to toe. And I asked my mom later, I'm like, did you not think that that was abnormal?
problematic.
What, or problematic? Like what? Your daughter is dressing head to toe every single day, even in the summertime, in a Georgetown starter jacket. Like, what were you thinking? But anyway, I guess I turned out okay.
You did,
But
yeah.
I tell my husband and my friends that my husband saved me from a thug lifestyle because I was truly a wannabe. I didn't do any of the crazy. I didn't even know any gangsters, but I was just trying to obviously
Yeah.
find myself.
Don't
But
mess with Shawna. She's a tough
yeah,
girl.
but I don't know. You listen to songs, and I'm embarrassed to say this too, but like New Kids on the Block.
Yes. Don't be
Like
embarrassed.
their song Games, it's kind of like, don't play games like I'm gonna F you up type situation. Like this is who I am. Those kind of songs or like some good Britney Spears. These are the
Yes.
songs that really do just kind of, if I want to get into like a kick-ass mindset,
Yes.
that is what I listen to. And I have no
Yes.
idea of any current artists up until Bad Bunny played in the Super Bowl halftime. I had never once listened to a Bad Bunny and it drives my husband crazy because my Spotify list has literally been the same for years, and I really don't add current music because I just listen to my Spotify list, which is on repeat
Yes.
of probably like 300 songs. And so
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of diversity when it comes to that, but every single time everyone's like, "What's your walkout song? What's this?" It's California Love by Dr. Dre.
Yes.
It's like the ultimate
Yes.
medley of people.
I mean, listen, you got to know you and and I'm with you. I mean, I'm from the same generation. So I'm just like, yes. Every time you hear it, I'm almost just like, I'm a white girl, like cranking it up
Yeah,
in my car.
exactly. Yes, exactly. It delivers. I'll just say that.
So,
All the
Shawna,
food.
before I let you go, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to hit you with a heavy one. What do you think you want your legacy to be in this industry? What
Oh
do you
my
think?
gosh.
I know.
I want my legacy to be that I just helped. It's really simple. I helped someone, something, somehow. It's really simple. I am it doesn't seem like it, but I am a simple person by nature. I don't really tend to overthink things. I like to lead with my gut. And if I contributed in somehow, way, shape, or form, even if it's on a very small scale to a large scale, I just want my legacy to be that I helped. That's
Yeah,
all. It's
I
really
love it.
simple. Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, Shauna, thank you so much for taking your time out of your schedule today. Where can people follow you on Instagram and LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Shawna Chrisman, Chrisman. It's not Christmas. I've been called that so many times and it's wild. It's not Shawna Chrisman, Chris Man. And Instagram, Botox.girl.
All right, great. Well, thank you again, and best of luck in everything you do. You don't need it because you just dominate. And I am watching
you,
from the
Kathy.
sidelines and supporting and cheering you on. So thank you for
Likewise.
all you do, and I adore you. And thanks
Thank you,
again.
Kathy. Thank you. All right. Have a great one.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.